Everybody knows we're better than what we just put out there on that field. And that all.
Nole Nation, I want you guys to understand that we care a lot about you. We love the chat. We are better than showing up 15 minutes late. But, you know, preparation is key. Had to get prepared. Had to get my guy Big Game James in here. He was in here early. Jim was 15 minutes early. The producer here was running a little bit behind, but super excited for everybody to be here for the Renegade Rundown. Of course, as I just mentioned, the lovely, the beautiful, the amazing, the precocious Jen Santi missing her Love Island show tonight. No spoilers in the chat, or she's gonna kill you guys. You're gonna get blocked. She's gonna like make your life a living hell. She's given up her time to the show to do the Renegade Rundown. Of course, we got the man, the cane killer himself, Big Game James, the fullback that's on a mission to get backpacks full of stuff for everybody in the Tallahassee area, the Jacksonville area, I believe the Orlando area, maybe another one. He's always adding locations and doing things and raising money for it. I believe $36 for a backpack loaded with everything these kids are going to need when they get ready to go back to school. He's also got the tailgate. If you've been to the tailgate the past 3 years that I've been able to go for the spring game and some of those earlier games in the season, you know you're always probably going to see Peter Warwick, Snoop Menace, but he's got like a list of 40, 50 guys that's going to be there this year. Big time Noles. Like, I can't tell you guys enough. Like, if you enjoy watching this podcast, if you enjoy going to the games, if you're a diehard Nole, if you haven't made it to Big Game James tailgates, you know, of course, Chris has helped in the past. Dope Talk, our guy, you know, helps out with that. I've been there just to volunteer, do anything I can the past 2 or 3 years. Get there. There's nothing like just being in the same room with absolute legends and some of the nicest people you ever meet. Snoop Menace, E.G. Green, both like took me aside and talked to me for like an hour at the first tailgate I went to, and nobody even knew who the hell I was. So that was pretty unreal. I didn't even realize I was talking to E.G. Green until he walked away. Like, I gave him a lighter to light a cigar. We sat there and smoked a cigar together. Memories, man. So make sure you're there. I believe it's slot 19 for the big Bama game. Already sold out. But yeah, that's what I got for the intro. How we doing, Jen? How we doing, James? Before I get into asking questions to James and talking some FSU football.
Shit, I'm good. Mine, like I always say with life, minus the bullshit, my life's great. You know, just trying to get through this this book bag drive and get ready for the first game. And you know, Jazz coverage. Football season is a really busy season in the Coleman house. I got both my boys play, so I gotta be coach dad. Then I coach at Mandarin, and then I just 7 days a week I work during football season. So I can't wait for it to start, but I also can't wait for it to be over when it's done. But it's all love at the end of the day.
For folks that don't know, obviously, I just gave the whole intro. He's a FSU fullback, I believe 2002 to 2005, 2006 era of Florida State football.
Season.
But he also covers the Jags. I mean, he's a fully credentialed member of Jags Media. I'm not sure the exact situation, but you're 2 or 3 times a week on the local news. Like, I see you hosting the news. You're at the Super Bowl. James, he has all kinds of stuff going on, whether it's First Coast, whether it's, being at the press conferences or the Super Bowl or throwing these awesome tailgates. We always appreciate him coming in here. One of the first people to, like, really give me the time of day, appreciate what I had to say, teach me all kind of shit about football and Florida State. So, again, happy to have you here and happy to pick your brain. I'll let Jen ask the first question or get things going since I've been running my mouth. Is there anything in particular you wanted to holler at James about, or anything that's happened in the past week or 2 weeks since we've seen the audience that's on your mind?
Well, let's talk about the 5-star. What do you think? How do you think that's going to play out? Should we, we know how commitments work, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is this a
175?
Is this one we should sit here and be worried about, or I don't know?
One of my favorite comedians. If I wouldn't have tried to get his name. Oh, Bill Burr. He has this thing where he talks about why fret on the future. It's either going to work out or it's not going to work out. Either way, why sit and work? In a subscription-based society, where and having the fifth quarter still being affiliated with it, but not as much as I used to be, I can 100% understand why you have to put out content, but sometimes there's nothing to talk about. So but you're still responsible for breaking news. So why not
Right.
try to get in front of it? And misery sells, drama sells, a lot of different things of that nature. So, um, if the kid comes to Florida State, he comes to Florida State. Here's what I do know: if we go 2-10, we have bigger fish to fry than just that kid.
True
Um,
that.
but if we win 8-9 games, you should be able to keep a majority of this class. But as you would know, Jen, this is me gassing you up and boosting you up as a pretty person. Of course, there's people who are going to continuously come after you. But if
Right.
you're dating somebody and you like that person, it doesn't matter what everybody else does if they're doing what they're supposed to do. So the key is Florida State going to do what they're supposed to do on the field and with the off the field stuff? And I think that's really where we got to worry about more so things. And I think
Right.
I really wish that we would, in times of turmoil, instead of worrying about is a kid going to coach, or is a kid going to flip? As much as are the coaching staffs going to be here and continue doing what they need to do? But again, I'm not going to go back and forth on people's journalistic integrity or whatnot. Those guys, believe it or not, watch and listen to a lot of shit, and they like to send DMs and text messages. And then I just tell people at the end of the day, you could always pull up if you don't like what I said that much.
Right.
But no, I think he's going to be good. He was excited. He could
Yeah.
go commit anywhere. Like, that's the other part of it right now, is that when you're a 5-star or a top prospect, you can go commit. Like, why commit to Florida State if you don't like them? Like, why not just go to Georgia? Why not go here? But flips happen. We did our kudos to Pat Surtain doing that, and I think keeping a state of Florida product in state, because he plays at Sarasota Booker. One reason why I like his highlight is there's like a pseudo rivalry that's being created here in the Jacksonville area between Raines High School, good team, and Mandarin High School, good team, and he got a pick six against Raines, so that warmed my cold heart. So like, I loved it. So he could be a Nole all day. So I think, like I said, I think he's going to be fine, and a lot of other guys, in this class want to be here.
Yeah, I
I
believe he
mean,
has
to
a
me,
tattoo on his forearm, a FSU tattoo, if I'm not mistaken. So that's like at least a
yes,
good
that's what I
sign.
was gonna
Derwin
say.
had one.
He was giving me PJ Williams vibes. That's
Yeah,
what he was giving me. So
same size.
I don't know. It just, I don't know. It gave a good feeling. That's kind of just how I felt about it. And again, he could flip. We know that. But
The only one that concerns me, and I know this is getting out of, is the Lopez kid.
yeah, oh,
Um,
100%.
and that's just because
100%.
he's talking the way he's talking right now, and he's good. I mean,
So
I've seen
good.
his film, Chaminade, but like, again, even if he does, we've got 3-4-star.
Yeah.
This is a really good. Like, Tim Harris is
Hmm.
doing his thing.
Yeah.
So
I mean, since the
first
staff
real
got here,
cycle. Yeah, I'm saying first real
because they
cycle. And he's on par with what Dugan's had in his last year before the bottom fell out. So like,
lost.
he messed around to get a 5-star. We messed around to show some things in the passing game that people are, like, show that it's better than what people are anticipating it to be, and you'll be surprised. Trust me, I'll let you know if we heating up, because there's a certain kid that I got a good. Actually, his dad just called me, my business partner, but I'm on with y'all. But a certain top prospect will let me know. Like, hey, all right, I'm gonna give them a visit. If we're hot and we get a visit from a kid that I'm really well connected to, that lets you know that Florida State is trending in the right direction.
Let's go. Hey, you said it, man. It's the season hanging over the lame duck coaching
Yeah.
staff if you don't win. Like, we got to win 7-8 games. But yeah, if we win 7-8 games, I have pretty good faith. Taking the class from, like, what did they take it from, like 53rd to 18th when the staff
Mm-hmm.
got here, and then to do what they're doing. The snobs of recruiting will be like, stop. It's not a top 10 class. Everybody knows how recruiting goes in June and July. You got to win the games and stuff. And it's true, but what's the opposite? To be in the 40s or something and to have not got all these 4 stars and 5 stars and things. So I'm fired about it. They're doing what they got to do. So, like, and I like the local aspect of it, them getting kids from close to Georgia, getting the kids from Tallahassee, Sarasota, getting kids from Miami. I like the kids everywhere, but I think that's kind of getting back to basics a little bit in recruiting. Even though it's a new generation, like you said, you can't really sweat it, worry about them flipping, just keep doing your work. And Certain's a good example of that.
And Norvell hasn't never signed a full class.
Right.
Like, we've never signed over 25 kids in a class. Like, you have to, in order to get a top 10 class, you have to have numbers, and like, or you have to be so 5 and 4 star heavy that it lets you. And that's unrealistic to well, for us at this juncture to be able to maintain. And even in the NIL era, it's very difficult to maintain that unless you really start churning out draft picks. A lot of people being in this NIL space now, like, I've been on multiple different sides of it. Everybody wants to quick to say, man, it's just the kids are just in it for a check. One, I would tell people, hold folks accountable. Stop letting them say sources. Tell me how you know they're making that kind of money. Because a lot of you guys don't know that they're making that kind of money. And then 2, Georgia, I know for a fact Georgia doesn't overpay. Georgia doesn't have to overpay. Georgia can just, like, for example, if you're a safety and Georgia comes knocking, this is what we pay. This is what we value the position at. But here's what we do. We've had 5 safeties get drafted in the last 10 years. Like, come here, get drafted, make a career, play in the NFL. And I think that's what a lot of people are looking at. So
and hey, I'm all for bad times. We still sent AZ, top 3. We still, like, to get Jeremiah Wilson out of the portal, to get some of these stud DBs, like, it's like, even though you aren't winning, at least you're putting people in the league and still doing the thing there, as opposed to some of the other positions. DB still kind of stands up. It'd be nice to keep it rolling.
I mean, like I said, it's better. There's still things that, I always tell people but if there's always things that you can critique, but I can say it's a lot more organized and better. So, yeah.
What'd you think about rankings?
I always read comments, but, like, I just really got questions. Like I see Jim Truby and he's like, they're just there for a check. Like, what job do you go to where you don't get paid?
Right.
That part.
But they get
that part.
Like, what do you want? Like, what do you want? Like, would you go out and would you go out in the sun right now? Would you go from 8 to 10 and work out in the morning, and then from 5 to 7 go run every day of the week? And if somebody paid you for it, just do it for the love. Like, hell, I didn't do it for the love. I like the game of football. I love playing in Tallahassee and in Florida State. But if it was about academics, well, one, I couldn't have got in. But if it was about academics, Harvard, Princeton, and Yale would be the best schools. Like, nobody does it for nobody. Like, the money matters. Everything. What makes America great is capitalism. American exceptionalism is rooted in capitalism. To not expect kids who are raised from kindergarten, and I only know this because I got kindergartners in my household, all the way through the senior year in high school, we tell them that capitalism is what is the foundation of American economics. And now that they're participating in it, people make comments like, "Oh, just in it for a check." Your dentist ain't in it for just the love; he would do it for free. It's more to it. Anybody who believes it's just a check, that's why they flame out. It's a loser mentality. And at Florida State, we don't believe in that kind of mentality. You go there, it's an NFL pipeline. Like, hell, even when you go to it to go to the NFL, you're in it to get it to the NFL to get a check. So, like, let's erase this thing where you guys believe that there was just over here just a singing and loving life and just doing it for the purity of the game. If that's the case, I don't know what I don't know what to tell you, but I know when I played, and I know the guys who came before me that I know, and the guys that'll be at it. If you don't believe me, buy a damn tailgate ticket. I'm a capitalist myself. Buy a tailgate ticket and they'll tell you the shit. like they're doing it for. They did it. Yes, they enjoyed winning and enjoyed being bullies, but man, when they got that check, they really enjoyed the check. And for every Patrick Payton, there's a Azaria Thomas or more of those guys who actually are doing it for both and are doing good. There's just Jordan Travis who did it for the love, and trust me, he got a check. He also broke his ankle and wasn't able to fulfill his destiny in a manner in which he wanted to. And while we'll go around and praise these guys for, oh my God, it's so great, be more like Jordan Travis, that praise ain't paying no fucking bills.
Mm-hmm.
So if the praise paid bills, it would be different. If the love loved it back in the same manner, like hell, I got a podcast that y'all listen to these ducks on these 247 ducks and everybody else more than me, and I loved it, and I love my university. But y'all ain't showing fucking love back. Like I can tell by the view. But it's again, my bad. I apologize. I just hate when people like. I don't want us to like get confused on this stuff, man. Like I just don't know what people
believe that. You would have to presuppose that college football was about to disappear from fucking existence before NIL came. Like,
it's never been more exciting than it's been.
Well,
like, come on, like, yeah, money is part of it, but there's money at every school. So to say they're only there for the money, like, is Florida State the only one that thinks they're worth the fuck? No, it's
like look
it's
at Alabama. Like their recruiting is on fire, yes, but like they were one of the main ones out complaining that you needed to have this much money and this much money, and like their fans weren't happy either. And if Alabama fans aren't happy, like my God, they had Nick Saban for years. Like, let's be for real here. Like, not everybody is out there just paying, and not these kids are out there, just for checks. I mean, maybe the Texas Techs are. I don't know. I'm not there. I'm not in their living room. That's fine. I know they're paying well. I would go to Texas Tech too, put on a hat and be like, hey, you want to give me $1 million? I'm right here. I mean, let's be honest. Every single one of us would take a better job, maybe not a better job, but a better paying job over the one you currently have. And if you say you won't, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, there's people right now applying for
Joe
jobs while
Rogan,
they don't.
Bryson, all these guys, they're not going to give their paychecks back. That isn't why they started doing it. They just started doing it because they loved it. And you can put it to anything. Like at one point in time, the NFL and the MLB and the NBA got paid crackerjacks, and they all worked real jobs. They were firefighters or policemen and stuff and whatever. Like, it's not all sunshine and rainbows always. Like, we're in a great time where they're getting paid good, but hey, it goes that way for a lot of things. Industries just pop up and money gets released. So, yeah, I've said my piece on it. But yeah, I agree with you 100%. It's kind of a tired narrative. I'll be happy when the collective bargaining gets all settled and all that stuff, and it's kind of strict across the board. But even then, we don't know who's going to spend the full $22 million, who's going to do this, who's going to do that. But anyways,
like I just seen a kid sign a contract for a car deal. Again, a kid that I'm very close to, and he's 14, and it's a 5-figure deal. I'm not going to put all the things in there. He's making, his dad's a teacher, right? He just signed a car deal for more than his dad makes.
at 15?
No, at 14. He'll be 15 in September. But
as a streamer or a football player or what?
He's a really good. He's a kid, Bryson Wright. He's fucking amazing.
Oh, Bryson.
As a
okay, I didn't hear you say it was Bryson. Wow.
But
yeah,
here's the thing. Here's the thing. On Tuesday, that news dropped. He was the first person at Wednesday morning workouts. Like ready to get after it, ready to getting MF, getting all these other different things. Because you know why? Because he's a good old-fashioned capitalist. He realized that as good as my freshman year was, if I have a better sophomore year, there's more money to be made. And just that's common sense. But anyways, my bad. We were talking about, just the commits.
You're right, man. Like who goes to work and they're killing it and they get a raise and promotion and they're like, fuck it. I don't want any more money. I'm just going to stop working. I got the one paycheck. Now I'm good. Like, no, that makes perfect sense, man. You're either a dog or you're not. Some people are going to get paid and they're going to be lazy, just like some people smoke weed and get lazy. Some people smoke weed and, become rocket scientists. It's like people are going to be people. Money's just a new element of it. Is it better to go to a school to chase girls, like you went to Arizona State because they had the kind of girl you like, or is it better to go to Arizona State because they offered you 50,000 more than Florida State, or whatever the case may be? Doesn't bother me. But let's talk a little bit about. They just came out with the ACC Media Day list. Daryl Jackson Jr., Tommy Castellanos. I think those are both. Everybody knew they were going to be there. The two that kind of stood out to me a little bit were Richie Leonard and Earl Little. Two of the transfers from last year. I was like, I was high on Richie Leonard. I thought he was one of our better guys before he started getting injured. But Earl Little didn't show a ton, but with this new defense, kind of right up his alley. I think fits more into his skill set. Last year, we had Pat Payton, Darius Washington, and Josh Farmer. So, like, is there anything in to read into that? Like, are Richie Leonard and Earl Little just really killing it? Do we look for them to be a big part of this team, or is it's just ACC Media Days? They're just sending people out there that are seniors or whatever the case may be.
You try to send the guys that are going to be that you think are going to be the not just the leaders, but the better players on this team. Richie Leonard probably and I talked to Big Rich, probably could have played, but they knew kind of saw where the season was going. And for him with the labrum, go ahead and have the surgery, end your season, get the med red, and come back. I think with that, Earl Little probably it just didn't translate the way that it wanted to, but you knew you had 3 years with him. So he is a really good ball hawking guy, and with us going to a cover 3 type of look as opposed to just a straight man across the board look, probably gives him a little bit more opportunity to be an athlete and go make plays as they mix up a lot of things with the linebackers and the D line, trying to bring different pressures. I think that's why you would see him there. Thomas TC is the quarterback, so the quarterback is, regardless of right, wrong, or indifferent, is the face of the program. So when you have a guy like him who is in draft eligible room, I don't think he leaves. I think he'll be here for 2 years. But he's the guy that you do want to make sure you go there. And he's been talking a lot. So you got to let him be able to back up what he said to the media. So I like the guys that they picked. I don't think it has to do with anything with who is transfer portal guys or high school guys. I think it just has to do with everything with these are the guys that we really want to put out there. These are the guys that we think give the best representation of what the Seminoles will be. And I'm going to be honest with you. If those guys don't have big games on Labor Day weekend or moving every other Saturday when it comes into this season, the Florida State season will be a little bit longer than what it needs to be. So I like it. I'm trying to see if I get credentialed for it so I can kind of go just show my face and just ask some really good questions. And I think, like I said, I think those guys can provide a spark, especially TC. If he's able to put all of those things together, I think he'll be fine.
Oh, man, you pretty much led me to 2 other points. I'll just hit them at once. So, already mentioned it with Richie Leonard and Earl Little, but there's other guys. Not that you would ever do this on purpose. We just went 2-10. It was a nightmare. Obviously, that portal strategy did not work out. Getting all the guys with 3 or 4 years in potential. Your Roydell Williams, another one on the list. But now that we went through all that pain, and now we're here, 12 months later, maybe we can reap some of the benefits of that, pseudo high school recruiting we did in the portal last year with some of those guys. If those guys hit, that would be great. But I am really happy that they kind of switched the recruiting strategy up to getting, experienced portal players. But what do you think about, because we talked a lot of shit about Derek Ray, Mike Norvell, Alex Atkins, the whole thing, the whole ball of wax for how everything happened after the playoff. Instead of getting guys in and getting them immediately committed, they were letting guys come visit and leave and talking to 3 quarterbacks at once and all this, and it didn't work out. Okay, that all completely went away, and we went back to 22 type recruiting this past year. I loved it, but you kind of mentioned it already. But how do you feel about do you think we can really get? Because I think a lot of people have given up on Roydell and a lot of these guys to a certain extent. You see him bring in Gavin Sawchuk. I'm excited about him, but why would he come if the other guys are ready? So there's a lot of questions there. I guess I don't really know. I just kind of rambled on for a minute, but what are your thoughts
They run
on
running back by committee. You give the guy who has the high hand. One of the good quotes that I heard Yak say, I can't guarantee you the amount of carries that you'll get in the game, but I don't have any limits on the amount of yards you can gain per carry. So his joke was like, if we start on the 5 yard line, you're free to run for 95 yards if you would like to. That's up to you. So you go with obviously you got a kid like Cam Davis who's slimmed up a little bit. I talked to his pops. His ankle's a lot better than what it was. A lot of people don't realize he had a really bad, really freaky ankle injury, like to the fact that he was getting that thing drained every week. And it was the size of like I saw like right before the Florida game, I got a chance to look at it. That bad boy was the size of it looked like a softball was coming out of his ankle right before the game. So the fact that he was able to even push through that showed the pain tolerance, along with Uzma, Cromwell, along with the guy from Oklahoma. If he's able to do what he did to us in the bowl game, you should be able to see a guy who's going like again good vision. Roy Dale, I'm not 1,000% sure why I didn't connect with Roy Dale, but I will say this: different run game, different guy calling the plays. Say whatever you want to say about Gus Malzahn, or whatever you want to say about Tony White. My biggest thing is if you told me that Florida State had a top 20 offense and a top 20 defense last year, I can promise you we wouldn't be 2-10. We would probably be a playoff contender. We would have probably won 9 to 10 games if we, at minimum, if we had a top 20 offense and a top 20 defense. But what did Tony White have in Nebraska? A top 20 defense. What did Gus Malzahn have at UCF? A top 20 offense. Left a lot to be desired in the passing game, but really was innovative and had an NFL caliber guy get drafted out of the running game from UCF. So that should be exciting for you to be a part of. And I think with that, you'll probably see us get 1,000-yard rusher because we are going to guarantee that we establish the run. Hell, it could even be Thomas Castellanos. If you look at his best year at Boston College, he almost had 1,000 yards rushing at the quarterback position, and we're going to move the pocket with him. So, going back to what you were saying about the recruiting strategy, I still have an issue with that. It leaves a little bit to be desired with guys coming in and not being able and not committing with the portal. You don't bring guys in when they come on that visit. If they leave, they probably not committing to you. Like you want them to commit before they leave. But I will say, for what D. Ray has done, they have a lot of options and a lot of targets, and they're not rushed. While I think they shouldn't slow play, as long if they're winning, who the fuck cares? Like that, at the end of the day, they got to win. They got to get developed, and they got to be able to do a little bit more. You know, that's all I'm gonna. That's what I'll say about that. But they have an effective plan. And shout out to them bringing in Devin Respress, local to Tallahassee. Really built his name up in the profession, and they're working hard. Guys like Gerard Ross that a lot of people probably don't really realize or recognize as well. They're doing they're doing good. They're doing good work.
Yeah, I don't.
So
It's
I will
weird. It just seems like
say,
Ray just changed this whole thing, or like for a year, and it's kind of gotten back to what it was before, especially the portal bit, like of how they identified targeted guys and got them. Sorry to interrupt you. I got a little bit of a lag there. So, yeah.
you're good. All I was going to say is, I never spoke bad about Derek Ray. I did about Alex Atkins. 100%.
And rightfully so.
She's gonna make that
Yes.
clear.
I like Act as a person, but I like Dugans as a person. I like a lot of those guys.
I love
Actually,
Dugans. By the way, he liked a post I made about Alex Atkins. Very shady.
yeah, they
I'm
weren't
just
feeling each other.
saying. Yeah.
They weren't vibing toward the end. I Hell, I like Mike. Mike treats my son better than he treats me. And anybody treats my kids good, I have no problem with them. But at the end of the
100%.
day, I'm loyal to the logo, and I can like you, but I want you to. Mike is the one who brought up the standard, and the standard is the
Uh-huh.
standard, and the standard is over everything. So they understand it. Atkins coaching did not go to where the standard was. We did not do very well in recruiting high school, and even the guys that we got in the portal does. Even when we were winning, I would just like to say that Jordan Travis and Benson were just that good in that system that it elevated us. And then you add a Keon Coleman, who and why can't I always forget my guy's name from Philly, big 6'6", the wide receiver. Anyways, you got guys with Johnny Wilson. Yeah, you got guys with big catch radiuses that are doing their thing. Hopefully, and it looks like they tried to recreate that magic. They brought in Deuce Robinson. Deuce has got a hell of a catch radius. They brought in Boggs, who has a lot of Keon Coleman in him. If you've watched the style of play, even though he's a young guy, it's going. I still like what I see. You got McCoy. You got a lot of guys in that receiving room that remind me of the guys on that 13-1 team. And the running game is just where we got to make sure we establish that. And I think with Thomas Castellanos' ability to use his legs, it'll make teams have to respect all 11 on the listen, what that be, all five eligible weapons on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, I think this is something you brought up earlier that kind of I rambled and I missed it, but the defense last year, I really think that was a top 25 defense that just had a terrible offense on the field. Now, there were times when, they would come out before they were tired and messed up. But for the most part, you saw what it could be, and there were times and games where the D-line would dominate when this would happen. But you're an offensive player, but still, I mean, how much better could it be if, I don't know, Tommy runs for a few first downs? Our defense was on the field so much. I don't know what the offense is going to do. I don't know if it's going to be top 10, if it's going to be like Auburn 2013 or whatever. But I think the floor of the expectations, I think the over and under is 7.5 games. I think people are going to be pretty surprised with the defense. I think Tony White being new and everything, that's one thing. But just the talent on the team. I think people out there have an idea that Florida State has top 40 talent or something like that. They're just really terrible. Where do you fall on that? How talented, if the offense can do something, can't this defense be one of the best in the ACC? Can it be a top 5 in the ACC? If Darrell Jackson, there's no reason he can't be a monster. James Williams comes in. We'll see how he does. They added linebackers. I don't know. Am I crazy for thinking that the defense should make a massive jump and they're really the same defense?
No.
It's not like you even needed a bunch of crazy things to happen. It just feels like they were behind the 8 ball A1 day one.
I'm a big Fuller fan, obviously. Anybody who knows me, but I'm gonna tell you the secret to life and success and everything. We're gonna use it for football, but you can take this, George, as a man, and use this in multiple things. If you got good D and you're getting good and you're getting top, everything should make you happy. You should be great. You should be fulfilled. Good D and some good top should make you win every win in life. And what top means is time of possession. You need that. And you got to have defense. The defense can can stop somebody. But if you don't win that time of possession in the NFL, that's such a key stat. Florida State never was in a situation where they could win. And so if you are having a bad drive, if your guys are getting bullied and pushed around the field and they score, or they have an 8-minute drive, the other team, the last thing you need is starting D alert, first D alert, which is what happens when the offense goes on a third down. You can't go 3 and outs. And what happened, what we saw was the 3 and 6 year, the 5 and 7 year, all kind of get reverted back in this past season. And a lot of people didn't want to understand how bad that was, and everybody went after Fuller. But even in the 3 and 6 season and the 5 and 7 season, I was always well, did the offense is there some offense that I'm not watching? You can't. Boston College game, we had one drive in the second quarter. There was a point where Boston College's offense, they started off, it was toward the end of the first quarter, and we didn't get the ball until like we didn't truly have possession of anything until then. Georgia Tech used the same strategy. Boston College used the same strategy against us. A lot of teams that weren't as talented used this strategy, knowing that we couldn't score and that if we just wear down this defense in critical times, something bad will happen. And if you go back and you watch the games, that's what you'll see. I was on I was about to say Chuck Rogers, Mark Rogers yesterday, and we were talking with the Miami channel, and they were talking about how the blowout was. I was like, it was a blowout on paper, but I said Mario's an asshole, and I'm not mad at him for being an asshole, but Mario ran up the score in the fourth quarter. You know, how do I know? I left once I knew we couldn't win, and it was like they were up 14, and then I'm like in the Uber heading back to my hotel, and like they're still scoring, and I'm like, okay, we're dead. Like, leave him alone. Leave him alone. But Mario wanted to prove a point, and I'm not mad about that. But you have to be able to give your defense rest. Not just rest, but you have to give them an opportunity to adjust to what the other team is doing. And we didn't have the ball long enough. And a lot of that could be said with having really mediocre quarterback play. And then even worse than that, mediocre quarterback play and that quarterback getting hurt. Like, once DJU went down, you're playing Brock Glenn, who is bless his heart, he's okay. He's got to develop a little bit more. He was not ready for it. And then you put Luke Kromenhawk in there, and Luke wasn't ready for it. And I just these guys, people can say how they again, good D and top. And Tony White's defense, the biggest advantage we have is that nobody knows what Tony White's Florida State defense looks like.
Right.
Nobody knows what Gus Malzahn's Florida State offense looks like, but we have an idea. And I think those changes should give you an opportunity, especially if you're having success early. But if we go out there and we do 3-3 and outs against Alabama, the only thing good about Labor Day weekend will be the tailgate.
Yeah, we need to get up early. We need to kind of use some of that shock. There's no doubt about it. But I don't know. You said the word injury, and I feel like we'll have a shot to win 8 or 9 games. Really going to surprise people, but that's if Tommy stays healthy. I just feel like the running quarterback, he's going to give us some first downs, maybe make some great plays. He's got a pretty damn good arm too. Like, I think he's got a pretty high ceiling, but it's a dangerous style of play. It always will be, especially when you're a smaller guy. He's not Cam Newton out there running around. So I'm hoping he'll be healthy and it'll be like 2023 and he'll have 1,300 yards rushing and maybe a couple thousand passing, 20 touchdowns. That'd be great. But I think at the very minimum, we should be able to play a defense and limit, the amount of plays teams run, just for the sheer fact that he's going to run for some first downs. He's going to help that top, as James pointed out. I think we'll double or triple it this year just because we're going to run it probably 50, 60% of the time, 55, 60% of the time at least. And Tommy's going to have some of those runs. So I'm excited. Expectations, man. It's tough. Before we move on, where are you on that? Like, I hate to put you on the spot. You don't have to, but James and then Jen, like, how are y'all feeling about the over-under at 7.5 right now? Are you leaning over? Are you leaning in the middle?
Oh, I'm taking that. It'll be over. There's only 4 games on that schedule that Florida State is either not more talented than or equally as talented, and that'd be Bama, Clemson, Miami, Florida. Everybody else on there, Florida State should be able to, regardless of how you feel, even from a recruiting standpoint, just raw recruiting numbers, Florida State is still recruited better than those guys. So it all depends upon how they feel about the staff and the leadership, and it shouldn't be about that. But attitude reflects leadership, and I think there's some things that TC does better than J Trav. I would never go and say that he is J Trav, but I will say this: I remember how people talked about Jordan Travis. So, like, the North remembers. They made it seem like babies cried Jordan Travis threw the football, and I will not allow revisionist history. We can enjoy what Jordan Travis did for us, but let's not act like the fan base was just all smiles and Hallmark cards on
Bro,
George Travis. But what I will say
they
is
were
Thomas
on
got
fucking head for
yeah, they
Jordan
were on his
Travis. I said that I thought he could be a potential Heisman contender with the right team around him coming off of 2022, and they were ready to fucking kill me. I was like, you don't understand how bad this offensive line was and this and that and the miracles he made. And then 23
even
happened,
some
and
of the
everybody
people he
acted
was
like they
throwing
loved
to.
him the whole time.
Even some of the people you were throwing to. I remember when Dillingham told me Jordan Travis with mediocre talent around him is a Heisman Trophy candidate. He's able to do a lot of different things. Thomas Castellanos is not a pocket passer, so when you look at the things that Bill O'Brien was trying to make him do, of course he was struggling at. You have to move the pocket with him, and once you're moving the pocket, you have to have these stilts, which you got to do is Robinson. And Boggs is a tall receiver. You've got a plethora of bigger receivers for him to throw to, but you also have guys that can take the top off of a defense like Squirrel. And now, here's the other crazy thing, and this is a remarkable thing. So we can blame whoever you want to blame on this. I remember when Florida State played Duke last year, right? I was coaching at Mandarin. Mandarin was playing Fletcher, so I'm watching the game on my phone while I'm coaching high school football, which I'm just good enough to be able to do that. And I see Luke Kromenhawk's first play ever as a college player. It's like they would have made a movie off of that shit. Drops back, stands in the pocket, throws it, gets hit, knocked on his butt, throws a dart that if it were a spear, it would have killed Malik Benz. I think it was Portier. If it was a spear, it would have killed him. Like,
Bro.
we can blame quarterbacks all we want to. I can blame Tony Tokarts all I want to. I can blame Ron Dugans. I can blame a lot of guys. But I promise you they are not doing drills to drop the ball. Murlock.
No,
How many times have Murlock's nickname for me was more drops. I have
bro.
never seen a guy drop the ball in more clutch
Twitter made
situation.
Jordan Travis fucking defend him too. Twitter went ham on him a couple
Yeah.
weeks ago. Thank God Warlock.
I don't think he's a good person. That's how many times he dropped the ball. I think he personally is a terrible person, terrible individual for what he did to me. Like again, it was hurtful. Even again in using the Boston College game. So it was I forgot which wide receiver it was, but we ran a corner route, right? And if the receiver does what he's supposed to do, would he have had to jump up and catch it and maybe pull something? Maybe. But him not even being where he was supposed to be and DJU throwing that ball, like a bad timing in a piss poor ran route will make a quarterback look crazy. I've seen it in real time. It'll make you look like you're throwing a Casper the Friendly Ghost. And I'm not excusing the millions of bad plays. But again, even giving Brock Glenn some love. I was at the Miami game when Akeem had the DB beat. And it was a great thrown ball for him to be able to high point. And he glitched in real time. I threw my phone in the press box.
I made a thumbnail and I gave Hakeem bricks for hands that week. They had my ass on the timeline. They weren't happy about that, but they didn't come back and talk shit when he was at Colorado talking shit about Florida State.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they're talking trash at Colorado. Like, we forced them to drop the ball. So, like, at the end of the day, I can like you all. I don't have a problem with some of these guys. But they call it so again, FSU fans, we've gotten soft and we like to troll ourselves and some shit like that. But you got to remember, they said I played in the lost decade. A decade where we never missed a bowl game. Like we were in the ACC every year. I should have 4 ACC championship rings. I am 2 bad field goals away from playing in 2 national championship games. But they call my era the lost decade, and then this is what we're dealing with right now. So it's so forgive me for sometimes being a little bit more. I'm more on the players than I am on the coaches sometimes because Jimmy's and Joe's make coaches more than the coaches make them. You got to at the end of the day, you got to catch the goddamn ball, and you got to do other stuff. So
Look, I agree with you. It does. It is the players. Obviously, I'm not playing football. I'm not you, James. But there was one coach that recruited, some really good players who literally sat on their hands while our offense just went to shit. So I'm hoping that this year, with a new coach, with a new offensive line, and I think everybody knows where I'm going. Let's please have something. Like, I need something. Honestly, I don't want it to be the guy staring. I mean, it was giving Willie Taggart, those guys staring at each other, you know what I mean? In the Florida game, facing the wrong way. That's how it felt for me the last 2 years. I don't know what else to say. And if we're going to have Thomas Castellanos as a quarterback, that offensive line, by the way, Boston College offensive line, they eat like hay and corn for breakfast. They
Yes.
always have a good offensive line. So if our offensive line is not going to stack up to, I hate to say it, a lowly Boston College, that's what we think of them. Let's be for real. I don't know what we do because the offensive line, opens up the running game, the quarterback, and our quarterback, by the way, does need a good offensive line. Tell me where I'm wrong here.
You're not. I think we just got to move the pocket with them, and I think that's where we have to do. Richie Leonard is a really good.
Hmm.
Just using him as an example, he's really good at pulling. He's really good at locating and blocking guys like that. That's really where we've got to be able to do that. I'll say this again. I don't know where it went wrong with Atkins. I'm not here to go down that road. I don't
No,
want to. I don't like reliving trauma.
right.
But I will say Herb Hand just reminds me of a solid offensive line coach. Like just a guy he can grill.
Yeah.
He can. I know he can smoke brisket. Make a good Boston butt, pulled pork, a lot of those different things. And it's just something about those. Like you just at a certain point, I can. There are guys who can tell you all the intricacies and the scientific and break it down to a molecular level of what you're supposed to do, right? But then there's a guys who just keep that like use the KISS principle. Keep it simple, stupid. And like they'll just tell you like go out and just smash the motherfucker in front of you in the mouth. And like it's real easy. Like, forget everything else. What I need is a duo block. We need to double team this lineman into the lap of the linebacker on the next level. Do I have two guys who can do that? And when I look at Herb, I've never heard him talk about stuff I don't even really care about. I actually would try. I want him to tell stories. Like I want him to tell me. That's what he looks like. He got some good fire time chat stories, and that's what a real good offensive line coach got with curse words. And then you got Gus, and
Mm.
Gus is a guy who's going to come over and dictate it. And you got him with Tony T, and you got a good mix with guys that speak the same language and have done stuff. And I don't really think you're going to see that much of a shift from what Mike Norvell does. It's the same. It's the same concept. It's more of a power spread. It's just they're going to try to highlight what Thomas Castellanos does very well, and you know we should see how it works. But I think you'll see a tougher offensive line.
Yeah, I
Why
think
they
for
weren't tough,
me,
I don't know.
yeah, for me, Herb Hand gives Mickey Andrews vibes a little bit. That's how he gives me. Like every player that's played for him is like he's so tough, he's so great, but he's such a good leader. And to me, it's like on the offensive line side of defense, it's giving Mickey Andrews, and I hope so. So
Mickey Andrews is some bitch.
I know
But hopefully, I
that's what
think
I'm.
that
I love it.
I think if you're genuine, you can always be a some bitch.
Mhm.
Like you can't be a some bitch sometimes. Like you have to be it all the time, and then I have to know that. Like so, to give a great Mickey Andrews story, Mickey Andrews would cuss people out, tell you you're like trying to coaching you is like trying to put 10 pounds of shit in a 5-pound bag. He'll tell you that the best part of you is dripping down your mama's leg. He'll tell you, I wish I knew your father 18 years
What?
ago and I would have given him 50 cents for the condom. He will say shit like that to you. And then you'll come in to eat and he'll ask you, how's your mom doing? Is everything okay? Like he'll remind you when you feel like you're really at that breaking point, right? He'll remind you of the time that he talked to you when he recruited you. You said you wanted to be the best.
Yep.
My job is to remind you of what it is you said you wanted to be. So if I'm hard on you, it's because you said you wanted this. So if you don't want this, let me know. And I'll change how I coach you. And you know what? Nobody ever asked that. So most people either didn't get to the breaking point where they wanted to talk to him, they just went on ahead and broke and didn't try to. But like if you really took a step back and you understood what they're trying to do, you'll be fine. And it helped me become thick-skinned. I got to joke with people. You can't tell me nothing worse. You can't say shit worse than me on social media than I've probably said to myself in the mirror or my position coach said to me. Like, I had a guy getting Billy Sexton. I love Billy Sexton to death. I can't wait to see him again. I love that he's recovered from the stroke that was probably should have killed him. But he just can't talk. But like, you can see it in his eyes and the different things like that. Billy told me, I'm gonna send your ass back to Rockbrook. I'm gonna send you back to the projects if you don't do what I tell you to do. And I'm like, damn, my mama don't even live in the projects no more. He said, I don't care. I'm still gonna send you there. And it's just things like that. Yeah, but I knew what he was trying to accomplish and get out of me. Like it's hard, but and kids still like hard coaching. I cuss kids out all the time, but I also invite them to my house. I also let them beat up on me in college football 26 because I don't really understand the buttons I'm pushing. We'll do different things like that. People. You gotta be a hard ass on them because football's a hard ass sport. But you also got to show them a little bit more that you care about them outside of it. And that's why when I hear people say a lot of the critiques that I hear people say, I'm like, all right, you're just regurgitating the news in which you're feeding yourself. You're not out there active, really with these young men. Like listening to these young men and their aspirations. You're not out here coaching them. You're not out here really seeing it. You're reading what you think the experts are telling you without understanding that the experts are full of shit themselves. So like these kids ain't really like that. They want to be coached. They want to be men. At the end of the day, it's a three. That's why I didn't understand last year. I'll tell you what really bothered me about last season. And it wasn't the 2-10. Do you understand how fucking long a football game is? The football game is about 3.5 hours. There is you're literally getting your ass whooped for 3.5 hours and you're okay with it. And I'm hearing people say, well, they don't like Mike. Shit. Like, for example, if my baby mama's in military. Anybody who knows me knows that shit. She gotta go, she might have to go shoot somebody. Don't matter if she don't like the commander in chief or not. He could send her into a horrible situation. I bet she love us more than she hate him. That's a long time to get your ass whooped. You know
100%. And then they were on IG, like flashing money and taking pictures. It was not serious. It was not serious. And it started after the Georgia Tech game. And by the way, George and Tiny Hat, everybody told me I was being crazy because when you saw their body like movement in the Georgia Tech game, they did not care. They didn't care.
They didn't. And I think they went
really
in
didn't.
overconfident. They went in overconfident.
Mm-hmm.
And Georgia Tech is a perfect example of guys buying into what a coach wants to do with Brent Key and embodying the attitude. And I think, like I said, I think Mike is a winner. Like if you've been around Mike don't like. That's why when I was critiquing Mike heavy, especially in the earlier part, I had to chill because all the people who was sitting there jerking them off and giving them milking them were now hard on him. So I couldn't even be mad because everybody else was mad. I'm like, all right, let's chill. But when I was saying like, hey, 3-6, only time I'm interviewing Mike and telling him the only time I want to see the numbers 3-6 together with Florida State is when I look to the left. in my little vestibule in my house. I look to the left, it's one in white, and I look to the right, and there's one in red. Like that's the only time 3 and 6 needs to be together. It was never from a place of I hate Mike. It was from a place of I've interviewed him, I have talked to him. This man is a winner. This man doesn't want no pity. This man doesn't want you to say, "Oh, well, it's the easy way. You got to let him build." Nah, Mike is like, this is what it's supposed to look like. It don't look like that, so you should critique me. As long as it's fair and it's within the realm, it's cool. He doesn't take it personally. That's what actually made me like him and respect him. But like when you also have, there's some other things that were behind the scenes and shit like that. Like my band, we were DJU likes the wacky tobacco. All of those guys like it, but like the problem is you can smoke, but if you're not functioning, you shouldn't smoke. Like you should be in the playbook more than you smoke. So there's some things like that people would say, but like I think that came from the accountability not being held by the individual position coaches, and the coaches that had accountability are the ones that kept their jobs, if that makes sense. And then they brought in some guys that I believe will be holding, like Herb Hand again, old school ass coach and then Gus Malzahn. When I saw Gus Malzahn walking around in them shorts, it brought me back to when I played. Back when they had biking shorts and the coach's shorts came all the way up to their rib cage, and them things was like coochie cutters. Like that's a coach, and he got a metal whistle. Those are coaches that mean business, and that's what I think that
Don't
they may
worry
have to
about no
do.
damn fashion trends. Freaking dad
No
shoes, freaking short shorts. Let's fucking go.
And
Oh,
we
the
don't have to worry about
Oakleys.
him. Yeah.
Oakleys. Like,
We don't
let's
have
not
to
bring
worry
back
about him
Oakleys,
trying to take
please.
another job. Like we know that this is what he wants to do. He wants to be a coordinator, and I think Gus Malzahn, the coordinator, is better than Gus Malzahn, the head coach.
No doubt.
I agree.
No.
I agree. Yeah.
I think,
But yeah,
to your point
I want
about the
Herb
coaching
Hand.
staff,
Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry. I think I got a lag going on or something. But no,
You're
like
good. You're
Alex
good.
Atkins was like, go ahead, Jen.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, like Herb Hand, I need him to get a cigar because I need the like Rick Trickett also vibes from like 2013, 2012, where he would cuss out everybody, scare the parents, all the good things. That's what I want. Like, put your stogie in and just start cursing everybody out. That's what I need.
Yeah, shit.
I'm
Rick
for all
Trickett
of
when Rick Trickett came in, right? I came back to visit. I think it was 06 I was in New Orleans. It had to be 07. It was 07 or 08. Whenever year it was. I came back and I was talking with Jackie Claude and some of the other guys. And we were sitting there chopping it up. And then Rick came in and he was just yelling and they got to moving and shit. I even jumped up and started moving. I'm like, oh, you can't control me. You don't I don't play here anymore. But it was just you have to have a healthy respect. I think that the problem is that a lot of these guys are maybe got too familiar, and there has to be a healthy respect and a fear for your coach. You can't be you can't be familiar. Like I don't let like coaches don't like my players that I coach don't call me James. It's always Coach Coleman or Coach James. It's always something. Like we are not friends. I tell them I don't need no new friends under the age of 28. You can't drink what I drink. You can't party like I party, and I don't mess with women under the age of 30. So
Good for
like
you.
they don't know how to use their vagina yet. So like that's what we're all looking for different things, and I need you to learn, son. And that's what that's what we talk about. And I think that's kind of where they got a little bit of different structure, and they got on the defensive side of the ball. It's cool when you have a guy like a Pot Rose who played it at the highest level. And these guys coached it on the defensive side of the ball. Those guys coached it with most of those guys were the Panthers. So they coached. So you got some guys that know what it's supposed to look like for what it is that you decide that you want to do. So I do have better expectations for this season, but one should be optimistic, but we will see. We'll see very early on August the 30th. We'll know where we're at about 3:30, about 5 p.m. on August the 30th.
Yeah, I think the big point there is, going back to the previous staff, and some of the guys are still around, tow cars. You had Dugans, who was a veteran, but like Alex Atkins, he had all this hype, up and coming from Charlotte, and then this and that, and well, he took over the worst O line in the country. So what if it wasn't this good? There was all this. Oh, he's one of the best, and he's building this, and he's doing this. It's nice to have a couple guys and Gus Malzahn, Herb Hand that you just. Well, they've got 20 freaking years of every year they have a top 5 to 20 all line or top 5 to top 20 run game. That's every year. That's just what they do. Even if they don't win, they're going to run the ball. So I'm really hoping we can hang our hat on that, and I'm feeling pretty good about it. I don't want to throw any predictions out there. I'm not trying to get too high on it. But yeah, I kind of wish it would be nice if we could have just opened with those 2 cupcakes to like iron some things out. But whatever. It's
here's
Bama.
Another thing too here's another thing about Mike that everybody's forgetting. Even in the 5 and 7 year, like coming off of 3 and 6. So I had people like, "How can you be so optimistic coming off of 2 and 10?" You guys are 2 and 10. I was like, we were 3 and 6 going into the Notre Dame game. We took Notre Dame to overtime. We should have won that game. I personally, if Jay Travis, I think Jay Travis was a little hurt and he was working through some things. But I think we win more games if we don't try to do the Disney Channel shit. I really think I think if Mackenzie Milton would have been healthy.
Oh my God, so true.
And Florida State would have won some games.
Came.
I'm saying Mike just saw the vision. He saw the next level. Like we're going to make a movie off of this.
Yeah.
But like at a certain point, you just like bump all of this. Like play this boy. Play Jay Trav. Jay Trav saved you from losing to Jacksonville State the year before. Probably should have let him save you that year as well. And you make a bowl game. You win some games. You win more games. You have more momentum. So one thing Mike can do is help get guys prepared for that first big game. And like I said, I'm looking forward to it. I would have loved to beat up on the Sisters of the Poor School, probably, but you got those confidence games after the Alabama game for good reason. Just in case you do lose the Alabama game, you got some games to be able to build guys back up. And you should be 3-1 going into the Miami game. That's why I joke with people. We're gonna have 2 tailgates at least. We're going to have the Alabama game and we're going to have the Miami game because morale should still be pretty fucking high up until then. And then we'll see how everything goes after that.
Y'all, if y'all see me squirming here the past minute, I just caught a freaking Charlie horse in my hamstring. Holy shit.
Oh my goodness.
That's like the worst place ever to catch a Charlie. Oh, yeah, man. Shit. We talked a lot about everything that I kind of had written down here. One piece of breaking news that kind of happened, somebody sent me the other day. I think they've agreed they're coming up with they're going to return to a one-time transfer portal. If you want to Google it and look up like exactly what they got going on, it's called SCORE. Have you heard anything about that? What are your thoughts? To me, and my people that have watched the show have heard me rail on it for years now. It really pissed me off because the reason we got all the unlimited transfers is the NCAA just got tired of getting sued and getting bitched at and raked over the coals on ESPN over transfer portal waivers. They were so fucking terrible at these waivers that you'd put it in and it would take 8 fucking months for them to come with a ruling and then to be, oh, sorry about your luck. And like, how are you supposed to do anything? Like these guys were just stuck on hold mode for a year. Like, so they threw their hands up and they said, fuck it, I'll transfer as much as you want. And to me, to my opinion, my take at the time was they did that so the coaches and the presidents of all these colleges will come crawling back to them and say, oh, you were right, please. Oh, no, we didn't want. And that's essentially exactly what happened. I was kind of hoping that the NCAA would get phased out of it somehow. But apparently they're in here with us, and that's what they're working towards. We're going to have another short portal window, and then once a year after that. Or once every, one per player, one every 4 years, one free transfer, and then you got to sit.
I like that. I think what happens is there's a lot of.
Does that bring us back to regular, like closer to how recruiting used to be? If you go back to that one time only in your 4 years, because it wasn't like a rare thing. There's a lot of fucking guys that were at 3-4 places in 5 years, like a lot.
No, I won't. And here's until they add APR into it. You have to. What happens is when you when you hit the transfer portal, the school is responsible for that scholarship until another school assumes it. So they bring you in. And so that's where APR comes into effect. If they start enforcing APR and you can lose scholarships and you can, like, there's a counterbalance to that. Because again, with all of this, everybody only pays attention to the kids or the athlete. They don't pay attention to this because, like, again, people saying NIL is ruining sports, but paying a coach $10 million a year and then talking about firing him, basically giving him a severance package of the remaining of his contract, that's not ruining sport. Like, if you can pay, like, effectively, you can pay one coach right now. Florida State fired Mike Norvell after last season, right? You would be paying him another $40 million, so 10 a year, and then you got to bring in another coach between $5 to $7 million a year. So you're going to be putting $17 million in just the head coaching, without realizing that all the other coaches' salaries are guaranteed as well, unless somebody else assumes those salaries. So there's a lot of things. Like, again, you have to put checks and balances. The first time I ever heard about the transfer portal was from college coaches saying they're going to place kids in the transfer portal. So everybody loves to say the kids are ducking competition without saying that, them coach, what do you do when a coach tells you, hey man, we're going in a different direction. You probably should go explore your options. That happens every year after people do exit interviews. And there's nothing wrong with it. It's been happening since I played. But if a school knew that they were liable, they do a better job of of their scouting and not just take risk on people. And then B, they'd be more patient with some of the people that they have. Now, what I will say is this: the getting rid of the walk-ons and adding the 15 additional scholarships, if I remember correctly, will make for opportunities for guys to not have to be rushed out of the door very soon. But I do think it's not just a bunch of kids who are unhappy and not playing that are jumping in the portal. More often than not, these guys are being forced in the portal. Florida State included, as well as other schools. So, like, it's not just the Jits.
I guess my point is, and why I think it'll get better, is just the sheer numbers of it. To your point, you're absolutely right, both sides. So Mike Norvell, because fucking 18,000 people are in the portal, he's got to look at it. He's got to say, oh, well, shit, there's two running backs that I like better than, like, I got my guy, to your point, that I evaluated and I invested in, or I got last year. Do I just stick with him? Or, like, Keon Coleman's here. How do I not take him? He's an NFL wide receiver playing in college. Like, so it would just take that pool. To me, it would cut it down to a quarter of what it is of the people that are leaving and moving around. That's why I'm for it, just because
they also
it's
got to
so
get
easy.
rid of
Like Luke Cromenhawk's situation, where it's just like, we talked our shit. We're Florida State. I hate that he left and all, but if you're in Luke Cromenhawk's position and you take sportsmanship and all that shit out about it, and you're a business manager, you look at him and like, all right, dude, you may never be as valuable in your entire life as you are right now. You're not going to get the money from Florida State because you've been there. They know what you are. They already, all this stuff. So go out there and you can transfer again if it doesn't work out at Mississippi State. But go get that million or whatever the hell he got. It doesn't matter. But it's just one of those things where it's no consequences. It's 1 year out of 5. You can just throw it away. So I'm happy if that goes away. It's just, even the NFL, it's like if the NFL had unrestricted free agency every fucking year, like for everybody. It's insanity.
What happened with Luke and just everybody's situation, I think, like I said, a lot of the stuff, the first thing is, oh, it's money. And it's not.
And I wasn't describing that shit. Like, I would use Luke as an example, but just like, but that is true. That is true. That he was more.
Anybody who leaves, everybody's first thing, not just Florida State fans, is, oh my God, it was money. Oh my God, this kid just doesn't want to compete. And I do know for a fact Luke's was more about fair competition. And 100% understand. Like, I ain't gonna
didn't they bring him a transfer after him that they pretty much gave the starting job to?
So no, it wasn't guaranteed to start a job at Mississippi State. But like, what happened was he was guaranteed the opportunity to compete for the job.
I'm just saying, like, they brought a Tommy C type in after they brought him in.
What I'm saying is,
so it's like
that's not why he left. What happened was when you bring every school values positions, right? At a certain, like the starting, let's just say the starting quarterback at Florida State, they value that as $1 million a year job.
Mhm.
All right. Let's just say that's the hypothetical. You're not bringing in a guy that has 1 to 2 years left in for the same amount of money that Luke Kromenhart was making. But you're telling me I have an opportunity to compete for the job, and if I win the job, you'll pay me this. Well, pay me comparable to what you're paying the guy that you brought in. That was the conversation. And where they were at, where they deadlocked is no. And there's nothing wrong with what they saying no. But at the same time, when you're using an NFL strategy, if you're paying Deshaun Watson $50 million a year, and it doesn't matter how
That's
good
just
Shadur
crazy.
Sanders is, doesn't matter how good
Talk about a
Shadur
crazy
Sanders.
situation.
What is it? Like you got to pay this guy 50. You only
Yeah.
got to pay Shadur 890K. Which one do you think is going to get every opportunity to fail? The guy that you have the more money invested in. That's what happens in some of those situations. It's not a failure to compete. If you want me to compete, show me it's truly even. Now, I personally think we made the best decision for Florida State. I ain't got no problem with that, no quarrels for that. I'm just saying I also don't give a fuck if he's like Luke is at Mississippi State. He ain't go to Florida or Miami. Hey, son, go flourish. I hope it works out for you. As long as your
Yeah.
interests don't interfere with the interests that we got going over here. But what I do think
And they
what will
won't.
make what will make the situation better as far as the amount of talent pool is going to take years. But these adults got to stop putting their head in the dirt and saying, "Fine, you guys want to do whatever you want to do." So, like this new ruling where your JUCO years don't count towards your FBS years is bullshit. So now you just made the pool even deeper because you can have a bunch of 20-year-olds with 4-year clocks. A 20-year-old is way different than any 18, 19-year-old coming into college. They're taking, if you played at an NAIA school, like they're giving people more years. They got to stop giving people more years, and they got to start encouraging people to go get a CDL license or go work at FedEx or go do some other different things. That's what needs to happen. But it's going to take time. It probably ain't going to sort itself out until my son is coming up. But at the end of the day, I tell him that's why you got to get better. And Jesus Christ, the comments sometimes make my balls itch.
Look,
Like
Tonight.
look,
I'm having issues on my end. So, guys, if you did a super chat and I missed it, I'm sorry. If
it's
you had
just
a good comment and I didn't put it on the screen, I'm unable to see them right now. I'm about to get a new laptop, hopefully in the next couple weeks. But yeah,
a college
good
degree
comment.
isn't
Good
what the
comment.
paper that it's printed on. I just let people know that.
fair point.
The only time I use my history degree from Florida State is when I'm playing fucking Jeopardy or Wheel of Fortune or doing trivia. Like, fuck that.
Mm.
Fuck anybody who thinks that a college degree is going to get you paid. All I can do is be a fucking teacher. And you know how much a teacher fucking makes? Not a fraction of what the fuck I make for talking shit and hitting people. So the thing is, if you are not, you're anti-American if that's your belief that they should be happy for a fucking scholarship. To get a college scholarship, you are part of the 2% of the population that do what you do. There isn't a thing in America that you could be in the top 2% of and only make $50,000 for annual, which is what my scholarship was in 2000 from 2002 annually to 2005 for being a state of Florida resident. I should not be happy when I am responsible for a school getting $75 million a year from TV contracts. Like, and hell, and the crazy part is the only thing a full scholarship is. The only thing a scholarship is the full amount of academic money that a school can give you. That means you could go be good at school and go get the same amount of money, but I'm sorry to quote the program. Last time I checked, 85,000 people weren't coming in to see somebody do the fucking Pythagorean theorem.
Nope.
So that's what
Nope.
it's
Now,
America.
buddy.
If you don't like people making money, go move to communist China or some shit. But in America, we pay people for being great at what they do, especially if you can't do it. So like that's the reason why they're getting paid. They're not being given; they're being chosen because they're really, really, really good at what they do.
And
Engineering
hey,
degree paid, but you're talking about six figures. Very few engineers make millions. If engineering degrees paid what college degrees paid, what college athletics paid, more people would be engineers. But the problem is entertainment doesn't do that. Like entertainment pays. And 2 and 10 is an anomaly. And again, even then, you can't roll out of bed. If you rolled out of bed, Florida State would be 0-12. If they had a bunch of U's out there, and I'm not saying this to be negative Nancy to anybody. I'm just saying don't belittle what the one thing about capitalism is the market will always correct itself.
yep.
And it's like I said, it's a dope thing. It don't bother me. And the crazy part is what they getting paid don't make you shit. It don't take no food out of your mouth, out of your kid's mouth. Somebody else is willing to pay that because they know your child is going to eat Cheerios because they see a really, really good football player eating Cheerios. And Cheerios is willing to pay a lot of money for that. Now,
Yeah, I
Patrick
think
Payton.
what we need to happen is we
You need
need
to put
to
Patrick
just
Payton
admit
paid
they are
account.
paid employees. They're paid
Yes.
employees. Okay, they can get paid. And here's what I can do: I can talk shit because they're getting paid and they're paid employees, and nobody can come at me and say, "Oh, you're an asshole. They're student athletes." And I think that'd be totally fair. I think let's quit fucking pretending. Like
Man,
it is what it
man,
is. Like there's billions.
man.
How much money did they just spend on the football only facility and the stadium upgrades? 250 million, and they got another 500 million earmarked for fucking hospitals and different states. Like there's a lot of money. All these colleges have these giant endowments. Like, and fuck, what is $1
Listen,
million in 2025? Anyways, is that
I'm gonna be like this.
150K back when you were in college, James? Is that what $1 million is now? Being a millionaire in 2025 ain't shit like it used to be in the 90s when I grew up. Like
Destroying capital, destroying the middle class. That's capitalism for you, James. That ain't got shit to do with a college football. What does that got to do with a college football player getting paid? It doesn't come out of your money. It doesn't affect you. The money was going to get paid regardless. It's just not getting paid to you. I believe in the American dream. If you don't believe in that, that's cool. But that's why I get paid a lot of money because I believe in it. But capitalism is dope. I believe in capitalism, and destroying the middle class isn't happening because they're paying student athletes. Stay on topic, especially with a name like encyclopedia. Go read an encyclopedia about what this is. Like the crazy, that's
encyclopedia be
insane.
getting out of pocket sometimes.
That's insane to even think that, to even bring that up. I don't want to quote this one like nowhere in your incoherent rambling did you make any sense. I assign you no points, and we are all dumber for having read that. May God have mercy on your soul. Like that's what I want to say to you, but it's like it's not. Paying these guys has absolutely nothing to do with what you're trying to make. That's a political thing. I'm not into politics. I ain't voting for this ain't no voting show. We talking about paying football players. Like that's what that is. So stay here. Stay here. I know it's difficult when you're losing the argument. You got to go other places. But we're not a political George. We didn't come in here to talk about Bloods and Crips. We came here talking about paying college football players and recruiting classes. That's what this show is for. That's on Bill Maher or somebody like that. Like
We
one
ain't
of them
got time to talk about why the middle class is getting fucked.
I guess a lot of other
Maybe we'll
reasons why
start a
the
new
middle class
podcast
may
and
be
talk
getting
about
fucked.
that. I could go for a couple hours, but no, it ain't because of college football players. I can tell you that.
It ain't Labor Day playing Alabama. I can promise you that. That ain't the reason why. But like, heck, to be honest with you, shit. Sometimes you might not even be able to afford to go to these games because of middle class. If you're middle class, and it ain't because they're paying players either. But you know what you can't afford? I think somebody asked. $65 is the tailgate ticket, and we will have TVs at the tailgate. It's all you can eat. It's middle class friendly. It's all you can eat, all you can drink, kid friendly, and we will have TVs at the tailgate. So like that
So
would
you'll be
be
able
something
to watch the full
you
game
can watch
and hang out even if you don't have tickets at the
and hear
tailgate. Correct?
Doak. You can hear Doak.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, man, that's yeah, man, that's
And nobody asked George to make your drink. Just an FYI.
Oh, come on, man. I'm still getting shit about making a crappy drink 2 years ago. God.
Listen. That was the
Them
best
girls hooked
hotel
me up with my drinks, though. Them girls had me crawling around in Orlando. I said, let me get a screwdriver. She said, all right. She gave me a fucking Milwaukee, all the way charged, the big one. I was all screwed up. Had doing my Michael Jackson moves out there like I was a retard. Man. That was fun. Fun
I'm
times,
just
though.
saying, who would you want to drink with, me or George? Like, come on.
Fair enough. We need to
That's
get
not
you
fair.
pouring drinks. What we
Damn.
we gonna
Oh,
have?
I'm a great bartender.
But
I'm
nah,
ready.
man.
I can't wait for everybody to get back. Freaking. Hopefully we either hang close or can beat Bama, and then it'll be on like a pot of neck bones. We'll be ready to pull all kind of people, FSU people out of the middle class. There'll be money to made around FSU football for sure. That's for damn
Shit,
sure.
they lost.
It's
Woof,
crazy.
speaking of middle class, boy, I made a bet for the Miami. Oh, my pride, fuck me. I couldn't back down because I've been eating off of this guy for years. Oh, God, it hurts so bad to have to pay that money. It was a good amount of money that I had to pay for that Miami game. I was not happy at all. I was
Dude,
pretty mad.
never bet on your own team.
And it
They
gets
put me in a
Miami.
corner. They put me in a corner and we were talking
I
trash.
know.
They were just like, well, and he was like, hey man, he tried to give me sympathy, try to get me to pull out. And I was just like, nope, I'm not gonna do it. We're gonna beat you guys. We're
He
gonna
put
do
the
this.
reverse psychology on you, is what he did.
He
Oh, James,
sure
you
did.
can back down. It ain't no big deal. You ain't.
And that man lined me up like just like in a poker hand, like when you think you got something, and he just pulled me to that ledge and just whew, got me, man.
Man, before we get out of here, I got to tell you, you see me crack up when you said, what'd you say? You said if it was a spear, it would have pierced Tykeen's chest or whatever. That
Spirit would
have, have you seen that video where it's Jay Cutler? And it's the guy that captions all those videos. It like starts out with something different, and then it goes to, oh, Jay Cutler's a badass. And it's one throw to Alshon Jeffrey that hits him in the head. He never even sees it. He's, oh my God, it fucking reminded me of that, dude. Oh my God. To get hit, like to have a perfect pass at you, that's got to be one of the most embarrassing things in football. To like not
one
see
thing
it
I wish
coming or
they
to
would bring.
completely glitch
What
out.
I think they need to bring back shame. Like so, what happens in the
Yes.
I don't know if it's like what happened if it still does that, but in the NFL, you had you watch film as a team, and then you watch film as an offense, and then you watch film and you're set. So if you fucked up, you got the whole team got to see you fuck up and you get cussed out by the head coach. Then the offense gets to see you fuck up and get cussed out by the head coach, and then you get cussed out by your position coach, like in there. And I think there's not enough shame in doing things like that. So like that's where I think people get I think we would have people want to be a little bit better. That or the city of Tallahassee needs to, it worked for Fitz. We had the Tits for Fitz campaign going on, like when he was going through his drought, and I was like,
Sorry.
Fitz deserves it. And he starts making kicks, and I think that's what helped him get better. All the women in Tallahassee need to pull a Lysistrata, and if you don't know what Lysistrata is, it's a Greek play where the women were tired of the men going to war. So they said that they're just going to stop having sex until the men stop fighting each other. So I'm all about rewarding good behavior. So until they start winning games, legs are closed, and that would
I
give
think it was
Absolutely. If
Demetrius.
any of these women start screwing these men during football season, I'm out. And like, no, absolutely. Absolutely. Do not screw them. Keep your legs closed.
I think it was Smooches or something in
Yeah,
2022
100%.
after that season that had the famous tweet, and then that's when we went on a run. So we need to, if you're listening out there, Tallahassee co-eds, I know you're not. I've seen the demos on my show. I know you're not watching this, but somebody get the word out. Make them fuckers earn it, okay? If we can play Bama within like one score, maybe a little something. Maybe a little something after that. But then after that, no, them cupcakes don't do it. We need to get a conference win. So yeah, I'm with you. They should have to earn it. And as far as shame, we're not going to get into politics like you said, but yeah, I think we could use some shame like across the board. Bring back shame and let people like the whole don't care about what anybody thinks of you and live your whole life. I think maybe we could take that back a little bit. People maybe start to care what people think. Like, maybe put some of your ass away in the Circle K this morning, type stuff. But yeah, that's funny stuff, man. Oh fuck, this has been fun. Anything we
Yeah,
haven't got into?
Um,
Oh, real quick, if you want to help build up the middle class, or if you're in middle class and you're struggling, Orlando, July 19th, I'm having a book bag drive at West Oaks Elementary School. 9 weeks worth of school supplies in the book bag, completely free. Come get you one of those drive-through book bag drive. I believe it's from 9 to 11. The Tallahassee, I am doing my 6th annual book bag drive there in Bond Elementary School. It is a week's worth of groceries, a free book bag, as well as school supplies to all the kids. So you can come and get blessed with that. That's what people do when they make money. You give back. Oh, you're supposed to. And then I have my free football camp that will be held on Sunday, July 27th. So it's actually my birthday, July 26th, is when I'm actually doing that. So if then we have the one in Jacksonville, August 2nd, at Long Branch Elementary School, and then my football camp will be at Mandarin High School. So we are raising money for that. If you would like to give $36, that $36 will go to a book bag, as well as a week's worth of groceries, as well as a camp for the kids. Those are all different things. Or if you need something else, buy a tailgate ticket. All that money goes to the Mentor for the Kids Foundation, 501c3. You can see what we're doing. We can talk about as much bullshit, as much shit as I love talking and going back and forth with people. I'm an actionable guy. So that's the only thing that I love to see kids do. Love to see people do, giving back to the community. So that's my pleasure and my passion. So that's what I do every year for my birthday. So I think we'll be about the fucking terrorists kind of fucked me this year, but I think we're giving away close to 4,200 book bags, so it's down from 6,000, but it is what it is.
Well, I mean, everything around FSU and anything that's kind of tied to that is kind of down right now. So the fact that you kept hammering it out and you're taking care of everybody, man. Like people always talk about, I don't think people understand when recruits come on visits and they're like the family atmosphere, the family atmosphere. Sure, that's there with the coaches and everything. But if you haven't been to one of these tailgates, just get to the tailgate and you'll understand because it really is a family. It's a small group. It's a giant group. But you'd be surprised who you're going to see and who will come up to talk to you, and they're just happy that you're a Florida State fan. They're happy, we all, even the players, like they were fans before they came fans afterward. Like it's a really approachable thing. It's not like, oh, there's celebrities over there looking down your nose. It's like you're really going to get to hang out with some really cool people, and everybody's just happy to be there. Like I was so disappointed. I can't tell you, James, how disappointed I was there was no spring game this year because that spring tailgate was my favorite one because it's pretty much that's just like a family reunion. It's like you see all the people you hadn't seen all summer. Coaches are coming around. Alford's going to come say hello. It's like, I've already said all the names. If you haven't, looked at the flyer, make sure you go follow James at Big Game James _36 at Den Media Group right here on YouTube. He's everywhere. He's got the Sports Den on Instagram and Twitter as well and everything else. Go check out the guest list, everything he's got planned. Donate to the Backpack Drive because, yeah, it really is cool. And if you're into family atmospheres and you've kind of always heard that thing about Florida State and how it's a small family, as somebody who's just on the periphery of it and just done a podcast for a few years and made friends, it really is amazing. It's a whole nother family, and people pay attention. You wouldn't believe like the people that I ran into, and they're like, "Yeah, I like your stuff. I saw this or that," or some of the people we've had on this show, including James. It's like it blows your mind. So definitely get out there. What is it?
Right now, it's
$65?
$65. Like you keep waiting though, it's gonna go up. Like we're gonna make the price of a brick will go up. So
And
after
that's
my
not
birthday,
that's not well drinks, right? That's like Crown Royal, whatever you want. You guys get all the best liquor, all the best food, shrimp, crab. baked beans,
fuck
whatever.
you
It's
drink?
all there.
Like, I don't drink. You drink like I drink. I don't drink no cheap shit. Like you're gonna have the only thing I'm not doing anymore because the whites fucked it up. I'm not buying
Hey,
beer.
hey, hey,
I'm not buying beer. I tried. I don't do anything I'm not good at. And man, I did not know white people drank beer like that.
hey.
Holy
Oh,
shit. It
you've
was
never
gone.
seen me, darling.
You're gonna drink liquor. You're gonna drink liquor like adults.
I can
That's what
drink both.
we're
I can
gonna
drink
do.
both. And by the way, liquor is in the morning, beer is in the afternoon, and then liquor comes in at dinner.
I
That's
can
how
see
that
that.
goes.
But now we'll have plenty of liquor. I'm sure somebody will have beer somewhere. We'll try to make sure we have enough chaser, but I don't chase liquor, but it's gonna be hot, so we need to make sure we have cool drinks. We will have a seafood, low country boil, and then we'll have barbecue. So like it ain't gonna be again that you ain't gonna get this. Like, oh, and my bad too. If you have children, you don't have to, it's not 65. If they're under 12, I think under 12 is free. They can just slide through. And then if you don't drink and you're under that, then I think we charge like $30 or something like that for just the food. So if you don't have a Bama ticket, there is a show that you should listen to Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 9:30-ish. But the Wednesday before the Alabama game. So what would that be? The 30th, 29th, 28th, 27th. So I think that's the 26th. If you listen to my Big Games BS, we give away a pair of tickets the Wednesday before every home game. So it'll be in
Shit.
section
I
one.
don't put in. My
You know
bad.
what?
Sorry.
You can win.
Sorry.
George.
I
Yes,
didn't realize he was about to sell the seat. Go ahead.
section 122. I don't know which row yet. It just depends. But if you go listen to the show, you could get a free pair of tickets. Or if somehow, now I got a long way to go, but in a short time to get there. But if we get over 10,000 subs, if you go sub Den Media Group right now, we get to that 10,000 thing, I will give away a pair of season tickets. So to a lucky listener. So like if you need tickets, the tickets are there. You just gotta again, I always tell people listen to the non-traditional media sites. You probably will get more than what you get when you listen to the reputables. They ain't giving you nothing. They're not helping the middle class. But we can help you get there. Also, I don't have any more I don't I've been over 6K subs, by the way, for over a year. But I don't I don't have any more hotel hookups though. So I'm unfortunately down. That shit is crazy. I would not pay for a hotel in Tallahassee.
Just for this weekend, right? Like you still got your hookup. It's just not for this insanity.
No, I'm done. Like I
You'll
don't
be able
have
to
any
get tickets after
Bama
that.
game. Any other game I have them, but I just don't have
Yeah.
any more for the Bama game. I'm all out.
Gotcha.
So
Hell yeah.
oh,
I don't get to watch the show as much because I'm at work at 9:30, but I may have to. I already took off that Wednesday and then Monday's Labor Day, so I'm off for that. I may have to go ahead and take Wednesday and Thursday off so I can watch the show. Get me some tickets.
my man got his feelings hurt, so now he's trolling. Oh, I'm sorry if I hurt your feelings, Encyclopedia. You just don't know how to argue right. And I get paid. I get paid by average alcohol, ABC Fine Wine and Spirits, Green Acre Sporting Goods with guns. I get paid to smoke, drink, and shoot. So like my subscriber count is down. I'm hooking people up just for the love. You know what you think players should be doing. Like I actually
I don't know
get paid.
what Encyclopedia's on, man. He's always in here for the show. He's usually, if I had to guess, he's in his 60s. He's got some older ideas, and I love it. We get a lot of older people in here, but
If
I don't
you're
know.
poor,
He's got a
man,
fight with Big Game
if
James. I don't get it.
he got that fight in there, like it's because it's. I know why he don't want players to get paid. If you need help, I got you, dog. Go to the tailgates. You can come. You can come to the tail. It's on me, dog. I got you. I want to make friends. It's like I got you, dog. You don't have to be. You don't have to go out here and try to troll for no reason, dog. Like it's okay, baby. You gonna be all right. Pat you on your head, little man. It's okay. If you need a ticket, you need tickets to the Bama game too. You need to be fed. You can come on over here, dog. It'll be all right. It's okay. But anyways, man. But nah, dude, George, I appreciate you guys being back on, man. It's great to see everybody. Love it. Love the energy. Can't wait till we see till football season comes back and we all loving each other and doing the things that are the right way, man. And yeah.
We're
Hell
all
yeah, man. Thank
friends,
you so
and
much.
let's just have some fun.
That's it.
Yes, sir. I cannot wait. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Thank you, Jen, as always. Thank you, everybody, for dealing with
Thank
my
you
technical
guys.
difficulties. That's one of the things. When you go on a 5-month hiatus, you come back and all the software is like everything's been changed. Everything I used to do is like fucked up. So I'm about to get a new laptop and do some figuring. So it might take a week or two, but we're gonna have a upgraded setup and we're gonna keep doing this thing every Friday and hopefully have more amazing people like James on here and keep it rolling. Shout out to Chris and everybody in the chats. VC Nole I saw pop up in there. Tony Vlashin, Rod Bostic, regular of James's channel and our channel. Brad Audinger. Well, he's already brought up Encyclopedia. He's been talking shit all day. I don't know what his deal is, but whatever. You got mentioned like a motherfucker on the show today, so that's good. Wilmer, our guy, our Wilmer, he's always in here. So appreciate you guys. I promise I'll get the comments and all that stuff fixed. And yeah, see y'all next time. Jen, any parting words before we get out of here?
No, I just want to say I found out about the end of Love Island, and it's Shelly and Ace. Man sakes, I'm very upset.
You got spoiled?
I did.
Oh,
The
that
comment
sucks.
did it?
Huh? No, not
Did
our comments.
okay.
No.
Okay, well the comment section's off the hook. That's good.
Yeah, no, the comment section's off the hook. But, I mean, this amazing, well, I don't know that they're amazing, but, whatever. Yes, our Wilmer, me and Tiny will be on Love Island in 2026, 100%.
All right, well, let's get out of here. Love you guys. We'll see y'all next time. We'll end this with one of the roast kind of clips that were funny from last year, and you can look forward to seeing the roast soon with Jen and Tiny Hat. Maybe this Monday. We're all new schedules, new boyfriends and girlfriends or lack thereofs, and it's it's summertime. It's hot out here in these streets, but we're gonna be here for you every Friday. So go Knowles, and we'll see you next time.
I couldn't find you anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, right there.